Hey guys, Aaron Cybertron Zhang here, and today I am back with another episode of Road to Ranked, where I climb the online VGC 15 ladder. Today is actually the very last episode for Season 6, which, if you've been following, actually ended on January 12th, but if you've watched my previous episodes, you'll know that I pre-recorded 2 episodes for you guys because I wanted to keep up daily content. Battle Spot, unfortunately, is currently down for between the 13th and the 15th, so I really wanted to make sure I had daily content out for you guys just because you guys are the best. And I love you all dearly, and you show so much support for Road to Ranked, and you guys have been just awesome with the whole series, so I really wanted to keep up a video. So these are going to be the final 2 battles of Season 6, and then we'll be moving on to a new rating, and everything's going to start fresh on January 15th, so we'll pick it off from there, but it'll be a new season, new Pokemon, new teams, and hopefully I'll be working a lot harder to reach my goal. As you see here, my rating dropped all the way to 1782. I had a really bad losing streak, and unfortunately I was like at 1890 and dropped over 100 points, so hopefully the goal is with these last 2 battles we'll be able to climb back to 1800, which is obviously somewhat respectable. That's the goal, but like I said in the past episodes, I do have to apologize that, my rating dropped. Obviously 1900 is obviously it's just a great goal to aim for, but it's definitely difficult, especially when you go on tour, and especially when you're trying to commentate at the same time. And I'm definitely not trying to make any excuses. So I think one of my personal goals for Season 7 is to get better in terms of playing and commentating at the same time, and just, making the best plays I can, bring better teams and whatnot. And I kind of repeat this in all the videos, but it's really a goal I have. So we're going to find the final 2 battles of Season 6 as we try to at least climb back into the 1800s, and we'll see how that goes. But I hope you guys have been enjoying the Road to Rank series. It was a total blast, and, my channel really picked off recently after I started doing it. So whether you're old or new, thank you all. It really means a lot to see you guys support and come out for it. And I have so many more VGC 15 things I want to do, so keep your eyes open for that, because I have a lot of great ideas. But the first opponent of the day is going to be Brandon with a rating of 1613 from US California. Brandon's got a team of Hariyama, Amoonguss, Rotom Heat, Abomasnow, Sylveon, and Cresselia. So that team immediately screams Trick Room to me because of, Abomasnow, Amoonguss, Hariyama, Cresselia. So I'm definitely leading with Gengar immediately because I can taunt the Cresselia. I like Gengar Bisharp a lot as a lead, actually. Or Gengar Amoonguss. It's between those 2. The question is, I feel like my opponent's going to lead with Hariyama, which is why I kind of want Amoonguss. But if my opponent doesn't lead with Hariyama, then I'm in some trouble. Well, I mean, Gengar just shuts everything down, though. So I'm going to go Gengar Amoonguss, because I do have Amoonguss to try to beat Trick Room teams, too, just because I can underspeed them and spore things. So I'm going to go with those 2. I'm going to have Bisharp because it really beats the Sylveon and the Abomasnow and the Cresselia. And for my last one, I think I'm going to go with Salamence, because that's my one really good way to effectively one-hit KO the Hariyama. So if I can deny Trick Room from going up, then Salamence actually just does so much damage. It can one-hit KO Abomasnow, Sylveon, Hariyama, Amoonguss, and do a lot of damage to the Cresselia. So I'm really going to try to deny Trick Room from going up, but even if it does, I can just kind of get spores off with Amoonguss and stall it out eventually so that Salamence can come in and sweep. And I don't want to lead with Salamence because, it's just fake out fodder, so we'll see how this goes. But cool to see Hariyama, obviously, because that's one of the Pokemon I used. Really, like, me and my Worlds partner, PokeAlex, were the first ones to really use it mainstream in VGC 14, and it's kind of cool to see it, now around more often. We do see Cresselia Hariyama coming out for my opponent, which is really good news for me, actually. It's basically forced to fake out the Amoonguss and try to go for the Trick Room, so I'm just going to immediately taunt Cresselia and Spore Hariyama. Even if it's Mentor, but Amoonguss is going to be really slow. Even if Hariyama goes for the knockoff, I get the free Spore off, but it does go for the fake out onto Amoonguss. So let's see if this is Mentor or Cresselia or not, because that is somewhat more common, and it works a lot against Trick Room teams. Or against Taunters. Oh, but it's not. Oh, but nice play on my opponents, and going for the Psyshock there immediately instead of an attack. So that's going to bring me down to 1 HP. Good prediction on my opponent's end for sure. His Amoonguss flinches there. And that Hariyama is actually Flame Orb. Wow. Very cool to see. So now I can't spore that, obviously. So now I'm just going to Sludge Bomb the Hariyama and spore Cresselia. I have a pretty free turn to spore here. Sludge Bomb does so much damage, wow. Psyshock comes out, targeting the Gengar. That's really good. Hariyama probably going for the Ice Punch onto Amoonguss, but I am really bulky, so I should be able to take that. as it goes for the knockoff, actually. So that's going to get rid of my Rocky Helmet, but like I said, I am bulky, and the Rocky Helmet still affects it the first turn. So that's really good, as Amoonguss gets a Spore off. And this battle is looking really solid already. As that Cresselia, wow! Chesto Berry. Nice. Nice. That's cool to see, for sure. I was not anticipating that. That's gonna give me some more trouble. I'm gonna bring in Bisharp here. I can Sucker Punch Cresselia and Rage Powder. The question is whether he stays in with Cresselia or not. I honestly feel like Cresselia is gonna stay in. Hariyama switches out. I feel like that means Cresselia is going for the attack this turn. As Amoonguss comes out for my own opponent. This is interesting. Yes, Cresselia does stay in. So obviously the Rage Powder wasn't really necessary there. But this is actually really good news for me because then, given that I've got Salamence in the back, you know, that's really good against a Cresselia and an Amoonguss. Psyshock here, I actually don't think you can even knock out the Amoonguss. I'd rather have it knock it out, honestly, but it doesn't knock it out. As the Taunt wears off too. Now that's bad news. But I'm going to protect here and just Spore the Cresselia, because if Cresselia decides to go for Trick Room, you know, I'm just going to be able to prevent it, because Spore would go before the Trick Room. As Amoonguss goes for Rage Powder, which is good because obviously my own Amoonguss is not affected by that Rage Powder. But it goes for a Psyshock, so good play on my opponent's end, but I am perfectly fine with that because now I get a free switch into my Salamence, which can just double edge the Amoonguss for a knockout and knock off my the Cresselia. But this is still really scary given that I am down 4-2 right now, and the Salamence is going to be taking a ton of recoil damage from double edge, so that's one of the downfalls of using double edge. But wow. Chesto Crest, interesting. So I'm going to go for the knockoff onto Crest and the double edge. And I'm really hoping my opponent's last Pokemon is... Actually, I'm fine with anything, but Sylveon would be the ideal one just because Bisharp beats that really hard. But since Amoonguss... well, Amoonguss didn't protect that last turn, but... I don't know, my opponent's in a pretty bad position because I'm set up for 2 KOs, and we don't see any switch outs, which is really, really good news. Amoonguss might have protected here, though, we'll see. No! No protect, wow. So just allowing me to get the double edge to knock out that Amoonguss, and this is why I like Physical Mend so much. It is the Rocky Helmet, which is one of the more common items on Amoonguss. You know, mine was running it, my opponent was running it as well. So I take a lot of recoil damage there, but that's perfectly fine because I should knock out Crest here with knockoff. Ooh, as it does. Definitely scary. I think if I weren't Life Orb there, I wouldn't have knocked it down. Obviously, Cresselia didn't have the berry or item anyway, regardless, so it would have been doing less damage. But I pick up 2 knockouts there, and suddenly things are 2-2, and Hariyama is going to faint from burns, so things looking much better for me now. Let's see what my opponent's last one is. It's Sylveon. Praise. So I'm just going to double protect here to prevent Fake Out because Hariyama's going to faint from the burn. So my strategy kind of worked out in the game. In Team Preview, I said I wanted to prevent Trick Room from going up, and I did prevent it from going up, but it did cost me a lot because my opponent predicted a taunt, which was really fantastic on his end, and that gave me a lot of trouble. But I'm going to double protect here to give that Hariyama some burn damage. I think it's going to faint. As it goes for the Fake Out onto Bisharp and just went for the Hyper Voice. So let's see if it faints. Yep, it does pick up. It picks up the knockout there on itself. So that's why I don't like Flame Orb Hariyama very much. I kind of like the more defensive set. You know, I've been running Assault Vest, even Citrus Berry in the past, and now I can just Double Edge and Hyper Voice, or not Hyper Voice, Iron Head for a KO. And Salomon's Double Edge should knock out this Sylveon, given that I'm max attack. So power of Mega Mens with the unnecessary crit there in the end. His Mega Mens one-hit KO'd both the Sylveon and the Amoonguss, so fantastic work there from Mega Mens. Great showing, and a really nerve-wracking battle for sure. It was definitely really scary in the beginning while my opponent just seemingly, you know, or did a fantastic job of making the reads, necessary reads, but I feel like my leads helped out a lot, and in the end it ended up working out. If my opponent had Rotom Heat in the back, that would have given me a lot of trouble actually, so definitely scary situation there, but fortunately did not. So, we're actually going to go into our very last battle of Season 6, Road to Ranked. So, yeah, here we go, guys. It's been an awesome journey, and of course I'll still be doing it, and the rating is 1791, so if I win this one, I jump back into over 1800, which is, you know, a nice way to close the season off, but obviously that's over 100, or around 100 points lower than the goal I was aiming for, so once again, I apologize for losing so much, but Antonio is going to be our final opponent of Season 6 with a rating of 1704 with what is a crazy team. So, nice way to finish the series off. Or not the series off, but the season off. Kangaskhan, Machamp, Azumarill, Armaldo, Talonflame, and Dusclops. And I actually featured Machamp a couple days ago, so, you know, seeing a return here. But this is interesting. I really don't know what to expect, to be quite honest. I'm going to lead with Mence, because Intimidate really destroys my opponent. I'm going to lead with Mence and Gengar. Dusclops is kind of scary, but it doesn't even look like a Trick Room team. Though, you know, you should never be fooled by Team Preview. I'm going to lead with those two. Bisharp is kind of nice, because it can knock off and can Sucker Punch, Iron Head. Thinking Hydreigon for the last one. Though, Amoonguss is actually very tempting in this one. Because, actually, I think I'm going to go with Amoonguss. The issue is with the Amoonguss, I just don't get as much offense. So the question is whether I'm willing to make that trade-off or not. But you know what? I think Amoonguss is going to be essential in this matchup. My opponent doesn't have any good way to hit it, bar the Talonflame. So if I can knock out Talonflame, then I'll be set. But yeah, it comes all down to this, guys. But that's a crazy team. I really don't even know what to expect. I actually lost to Armaldo in Regionals in 2013. People still make fun of me for that. But we see Kangaskhan and Talonflame coming out from my opponent here, which is definitely a lead I'm perfectly content with seeing, because the goal right now is to knock out that Talonflame immediately so Amoonguss can come in and support my Pokemon accordingly. So I'm going to Mega Evolve. Actually, let's see what I have in the back. Bisharp and Amoonguss, yeah, so I'm going to immediately Double Edge and Sludge Bomb this Talonflame because I want that Talonflame gone bad. Question is whether Talonflame goes for Brave Bird, you know, or Fake Out, or... On retrospect, that was kind of an aggressive play. Especially because Kangaskhan might have Ice Punch. But given that it's Mega Evolving here, I'm guessing it just faked out the Mence. Let's see. Yep, Fake Out comes out, which is good. That means at least Mence won't faint from an Ice Punch. As doesn't do too much damage, 31 damage right there. Let's see what Talonflame goes for. Tailwind, okay, that was the move I was expecting. And there wasn't much I could have done to prevent that, but I'm perfectly fine with Tailwind going up because Sludge Bomb should do a lot of damage here. Poison would be really nice too. Oh, and I get it actually, which is cool. So that's basically gonna ensure that Talonflame's fainting very, very soon, which is obviously good news. Let's see. I'm definitely protecting Mence here, and I'm just going to go for the Will-O-Wisp onto the Kangaskhan. Talonflame's most likely going to Brave Bird Gengar, and it should KO itself through Recoil and Poison, so that's what I'm going for right now. Yep, Brave Bird. Oh, actually goes into the Mence. Oh, no! Whoa. That was a crazy turn of events. Obviously, you guys saw the Brave Bird and the double target into Salamence, and then the Facade come out. So, as a result, now I'm gonna switch into Bisharp and Icy Wind. I missed Will-O-Wisp there, obviously, which was kind of fortunate because Facade King is no fun to deal with. So that was actually the one time missing Will-O-Wisp kind of helped. We do see another Brave Bird come out. Let's see who it targets. Presumably the Bisharp slot. Yep. Not gonna do that much damage though, as it takes slight recoil. Let's see if it's Life Orb. Nope, it's not. Oh, Sucker Punch coming out from Kane though, so good prediction on my opponent's end. That actually knocks out Gengar. So very nice turn from my opponent for sure. So that's scary, but this Talonflame's about to faint, so the Amoonguss in the back should be able to clutch things out. So I'm gonna bring in my Mence here. So we've seen Fake Out on Kangaskhan, Facade, and Sucker Punch. The last one's probably a fighting move. But I'm going to bring in Mence, and I'm double protecting here. I'm going to make the safer play. Actually, I really want to switch into Amoonguss here. But I don't want to take a Flare Blitz in that spot. So I'm going to make the safe double protect play here. And then Amoonguss is going to really help out because, as I said in Team Preview, the whole goal of this game is to set up use Salamence and Bisharp and with Amoonguss, with proper support. As Talonflame actually did just go for the Brave Bird into Mens and the Pup onto Bisharp. Okay. So switching to Amoonguss there actually wouldn't have been a terrible idea, but at least I don't give the Kangaskhan a free +1, and Talonflame faints and Tailwind burns out. So game is tied at 3-3 now, and I know the Kangaskhan's full moveset, which is always helpful as well. As Azumarill comes in for my opponent here. Okay. So I think my opponent's just going to Power Up Punch Bisharp. So I'm going to switch that out into Amoonguss, and I'm just going to Double Edge the Kangaskhan because Azumarill can't really touch Amoonguss, so I'm fine with him play roughing the Salamence here for a knockout, as long as I can knock out the Kangaskhan. Though in retrospect, I should have thought a bit better about that, as Double Edge almost knocks out Kangaskhan, not quite. We do see the Power Up Punch come out onto Amoonguss, but like I said, I was playing knowing that it would Power Up Punch that slot because now it's going to just faint from the Rocky Helmet. That's why I love Rocky Helmet. It gives you so many nice damage calculations. See what Zoomer goes for. Probably play rough onto Salamence. Yep. Oh, Salamence avoids it too. I wasn't playing for that, but that's definitely going to make things a lot easier. Though my opponent's last Pokemon was a Machamp, excuse me, which is fine because now I just Rage Powder and Double Edge, and that's going to be game. Salamence closes it out. My opponent's just going to forfeit there knowing that that play rough miss was a loss. Even without it, I'd have Amoonguss and Bisharp against Azumarill and Machamp, and all I would need to do is protect Spore the Machamp and then Rage Powder Iron Head, and there's nothing Azumarill can do against Amoonguss, so having Amoonguss in the end game there really, really helped. So, yeah, that's it for Road to Ranked Season 6, guys. It was a fantastic journey. Of course, I'll be picking it up right away tomorrow since these episodes were pre-recorded, even though Battle Spot has been down. No need to fear, there will be another episode tomorrow, and we will be starting with a fresh 1500 rating, probably with the new team as well. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this past season. It was a lot of fun, and even though I didn't ultimately reach that 1900 goal, I learned a lot, played a lot of new Pokemon. This is just, we're all new to the format, including myself, so it's a learning process, but hopefully with all the knowledge I gained, I'll be able to provide even better episodes for Season 7. So that's it for this episode and the season, guys. As always, leave a like if you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you tomorrow in Season 7. Alright, peace, guys.